It's Tone Capone. You already know what time it is. Welcome to Waves of the Bay.
Yeah, I said it's Waves of the Bay. If you ain't about the action, better find another lane. If you ain't providing platforms, better find another stage. I'm living in my purpose, every day is game day. And now it's time to level up. Give the people what they want, show the artist off and strut. Let the music do the talking while the talent gets the fun. They said it's all written, but I had to change the font. Come on, because I do what I want. Champions win, so I'm not about to taunt. After all the smoke clears, I'll be standing right here at the top with my peers, living life without fears. I'm never looking in the mirror, never looking in the rear, cause I'm known to switch gears. Hey mom, thanks for raising me to be so brave. Tampa Bay, yeah, it's time for y'all to catch this wave. Ride the wave.
Let's go. Let's go. Set it off. Set it off.
Waves of the Bay checking in, man. Hey, we've been jamming. What time? It's already 10:30 over here, man. Been jamming hard for 30 minutes right here, man. So, once again, this is Waves of the Bay. This is WMNF Tampa. I'm Tone Capone, the award-winning Best of the Bay. Waves of the Bay. That's who we are right now, man. We just jamming, man. Award-winning. That's what we do over here, man. Thankfully. Thank y'all for listening and tuning in and voting and supporting for real, because, you know, that ain't something I can award myself or nothing, but, you know, it means a lot, and, you know, it means a lot to have you in the studio as well, man, because the good thing about it is that, you know, we're 10 toes down when it comes to Tampa Bay, so we love to be able to bring Tampa Bay artists on here, play Tampa Bay music. Like, that's the reason, that's what separates us from everybody else, honestly. You know, other radio stations can't do this, you know what I'm saying, or else they won't do it. You know, one or the other. I can't call it, but, you know. But hey,
fear factor. We just call it fear factor.
You already know, man. You already know. But for real, though, I want to welcome you to the studio. We have King Prez and Dax over here, man. What next? What's it? I can't. Nexus. There you go. Nexus in the studio as well, man. So WMNF, you got a lot going on. We got a little bit of time, so I don't even know where to begin at, but I think I want to start with the music. So, once again, King Prez is in the studio with us. King Prez, I want you to go ahead and just give a rundown of who you are, let the people know who you are, but let me go ahead and preface it. This is FM radio, so don't get too excited, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. Man, King Prez, man, from the West Coast. Came here about 4 or 5 years ago. Really wanted to reestablish myself as an artist. So I got out of my city of the West Coast, and I was doing community work there and different things. And so I came out here to finish raising my children.
Okay.
And give them an opportunity to be children. And so when I was doing music, I was so busy doing music, I wasn't able to be focused as a parent. So when I came out here, it took me some time to be focused as a parent. And it got me really to think about, how did I want to present my music? Did I want to be this West Coast gangbanger, or did I want to be somebody that brings something different?
Kids will do it, man.
So yeah, so
for real.
It made me reevaluate my situation about how I perform. You know, when I first started doing hip hop, I was kind of doing conscious rap, but it really wasn't me, because that's not where I grew up at. So when I started doing, you know, how I felt, then I started feeling good, and then I started coming with this feel-good hip-hop music.
I can tell you have like a niche right
like
now. Like I can definitely tell.
Yeah, so that's, and it was through, you know, development, artist development, and being an independent artist and bumping my head against the wall. And, you know, at first I wanted to manage artists, and that didn't work out because artists don't show up on time. You know, they're not prompt. So me being in the studio, I didn't want to waste the studio time. So I started getting behind, getting inside the booth, and eventually I got my own style. And so I was working with people like Mr. Cap, CAP from South Park Coalition, and he's out of Houston. So I first started working with him, and he was like, you hit the ground running with this thing, man.
So that's how you got the whole Houston connection right there.
Yeah, through him. So me and Cap, we met up, and we started doing music and different things like that. We started doing shows. Shout out to Lonzo. He's one of the ones, he worked with NWA, so he gave me my shot in the West Coast. And there's just a lot of people in the West Coast that was really helping me get things going. But my main core was serving the community. So I always made sure I put that first and foremost. Is I had to make sure I served the community, because I didn't want to become a statistic, and I didn't want anybody around me to become a statistic at all. So everybody I was saying, making sure we're doing community music. It's not what you do on the stage, it's what you do off the stage.
That's a testament of somebody that really cares about their community, man. People talk about it, but they're not really living it, You got to walk with it and have that purpose when you're doing things. So I can definitely commend you on that. I want to give you a statement. I want to see how you feel about it, man, because my jacket right here says drunk on it, but it's actually an acronym. So it means do right, you never know. So hearing that statement, what does that mean to you?
That means always be on your best behavior. Just to keep it real simple, when you're doing the right thing at all times, then you never gonna get caught doing the wrong thing. So you should always prepare yourself to be your best, so you won't have to get ready if you stay ready.
Already. I like that right there. King Prez in the studio with us, man. I want to talk about the music. So
yes, sir.
You're doing a lot in the community, but you're also doing a lot in the music. You say you have a new project coming up. When is that gonna be dropping?
We're gonna actually shout out to Pusha T, who is actually working with me to make sure that everything is where it needs to be at, so the project could do better numbers.
Okay. How'd y'all make that connection?
Here, Waves of the Bay, man. Good looking out, Tone.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
When I met him here, and he was just such a positive influence, like you could feel his energy. And so I just got his number, and me and him just start, chopping it up back and forth.
Billboard Preem, shout out to you, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Billboard. And we've been talking every week. He's been really helping me out, man, and he's been teaching me, reach one, teach one. Yeah. And so it really exists in hip hop.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you find that type of people, you need to gravitate and hold on and try to get in their circle. So I'm really getting in his circle and talking to his people and getting everything straight. So the project should be out within the month.
Okay.
I got a couple of stuff, but I want to make sure that I get paid for it. A lot of people just put music out there, and they don't understand the music business. People
I see it so much on this side. It's ridiculous, yo. Especially when people call themselves having a music career, and they're not approaching it as such. They're not approaching it like a business. They're dropping money on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. That bugs me right there.
Yeah.
So
and I my approach was from a management standpoint. So it was easy for me to turn into an independent artist, because I came into the game wanting to manage and help artists.
So how did you learn about the management side of things? Were you already studying that to begin with?
No, I was actually bumping my head. I'm ex-military, so I'm a veteran.
You'll figure it out.
So I kind of figured it out. So,
right.
You had a group of people that really didn't know what was going on, and then you had me that kind of knew some of the people. And so they was like, these people, man, hook us up. So I was like, all right, cool. And they was like, won't you manage us? I didn't understand what management meant until
That's
I
the thing, though.
myself.
Like, people approach you because you have connections and say that you should manage them. But if they would just take the time out to establish those relationships, they would be in the exact same situation. And it's like the blind leading the blind at that point. And this actually leads into a question I was going to ask you. Like, when you just came into the game, management style, music style, whatever, what's something that you didn't know that you needed to know at that time?
First of all, get your BMI ASCAP squared away. First things first. Make sure that the people that you're talking to are people that are not going to, ruin your brand. Understand what a brand is and what is your brand before you go out there. Have a plan. And a lot of these things artists really don't come up with. They say, oh, it's a dope song. I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna put it, or let's listen to YouTube and get a beat.
Right.
But they don't really say, where are we going with this project? With this one particular project, what are we trying to do? You know what I'm saying?
I swear I just had this discussion with somebody like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Because they asked me, like, how can they help progress their music career? And I'm just like, you need to have some type of focus, man. Like, people drop projects all the time, but they never follow through. You know, there's no marketing plan behind it. There's no build up to it. There's no videos. There's no interviews. Like, there's none of that. You know, we'll just online real quick the day of, hey, I just dropped my album, go support me. And that's the last thing you hear about it for like a month.
Yep. Then
they come back, post the same link, and it's like, no, we got to have some type of idea, some type of like a syllabus, you know, how we got to get to where we got to get to, man. A blueprint, a roadmap. A lot of people
are scared to get personal, Tone. A lot of people are scared
because
to
they're behind the social media. Everybody's used to, you know,
just put one
being
click
behind
and
a
send it
board.
out.
And they're not used to being interactive like this.
I go to my DMs and I go through, like, I got 5,000 people that I went through my DMs and I flush through them. And the people that don't respond to me like 2 or 3 times, I delete them. At first, they was telling me don't do that. But after like about a year and not getting no response and no momentum,
you could tell.
I said, man,
like,
once I started deleting people and getting new people that really were interested in me, then that's when I started getting the momentum. But when I just kept people and it was stagnant, it was just numbers. And you don't want stagnant numbers. You want numbers that are moving and going in the direction.
Those are just fake numbers anyways, if that's the case. You know, and they're not really engaged with you, you know.
Yeah. And they don't understand about marketing and promotion. Like, it's a lot of things I'm learning as a manager that's tricks to get your numbers up. But people are like, oh man, I wouldn't go that route. But it's like, that's the only route you can go as an independent artist. You know what I'm saying? So once I figured those tricks out, those bells and whistles, that's when my music really started taking off. And then I started meeting people like you to give me real interviews to talk about not only, you know, me, but talk about my music and how did I get to this process.
Right. We got King Prez right here in the studio, man. Hip-hop artist, man, volunteerism. I'm thinking, I can't even think. The word has escaped me right now, man. But yeah, my man is actively involved in the community, man. So I want to know how. Well, let me say it like this, man. Most people aspire to be king. Most people aspire to be president. How did you get King Prez as your stage name? When I first started out, man, it was president because I was in political science. Okay. And so I just figured, you know what, man, I'm going to take this mic and talk like the president. So that was my first thing. And then people started calling me Big Prez because they didn't want to call me president because I was too prestigious. So they was like, yeah, what's up, Big Prez? So I went with Big Prez. When I came out here, I was with my cousin. And me and him was in the studio just playing around. Because I was raising my kids, so I really wasn't trying to rap. So one day I was like, man, K-I-N-G, all that weed, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, what? And I messed it up. And they was like, well, go back in there again, King. And I was like, King And that
Prez.
was it.
So I like that. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, you know, K-I-N-G, that's all that weed. And then King Prez, and it was like, it stuck. I said, I like that. And then I felt like I earned the name King Prez of being an independent artist and all the lumps I took. It's a battle. It's a battle out there. And if you're not willing to fight and you're not willing to call yourself a king, then you're not going to be a king. Because you got to look in the mirror and see that first before somebody recognizes in you.
Well, that's self-realization right there, man. That accountability, that humility also as well, but the eagerness to learn, because a lot of people will hop into something just because, but they won't take the time out to actually learn about what they're getting themselves into. Right. And that's a huge difference right there, because that knowledge is power, you know what I'm saying? That's how you become king. And team building, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really got to get into team building. If you're going to be a king of anything, you just can't be king by yourself and vanquish all your foes, man. You got to have people around you that are loyal, and it ain't just subjects. It's other people that is of your caliber or higher. All the way. You know what I'm saying? I seek out people that's higher than me. I don't always try to hang around people that's, you know, on the same level as me, because those are my peers. I want to get up to the next level, so I have to go above my peers and people that I look up to so I can get to their same level. And that's why I look up to Push Supreme. Even though he's younger than me, he has more skills than me. So I'm going after those skill sets, and not only just to take, but to add on to him as well. So that's the whole thing. Same thing with Shizzle. Like I told Shizzle, I said, look, Shizzle, even though I'm King Prez, Galactic Empire, I'm still 110% behind the Shizzle show. Right. I'm always trying to find a way to make sure people eat. And if it takes for me to be in the background and not being projecting myself, then that's what I got to do, because it's the betterment of the whole entire team. Straight up. So I got music to play here, but beyond music, I know you're doing some things this month when it comes to the community. So let's run that down real quick. Well, every week on Tuesday in Palmetto, we serve about
175 to 200 families.
Okay.
So every week we're giving out food. We pass out like over 11 tons of food in a year. So we're constantly giving to families. We're
Much
getting
respect,
the opportunity.
man.
Yeah, but I love it. I'm a servant king. You know what I'm saying? That's how God is. That's how Jesus is, to serve the community. So that's what I do, and I take pleasure in doing that. So I wake up on Tuesdays excited to go and, put the food in the car and talk to the people one more time and ask them how their family's going, ask them how their week is going. That's real fans. These people are waiting for my T-shirts, waiting for my clothing line to come out so they could be a part of the whole movement, because for so long I've been a part of their life, really feeding their families, really making sure everything is okay. And now we're moving up to getting a compassion center with my church, where we're serving Sarasota and Manatee County, giving them clothing as well as furniture. So all we have to do is see a need in the community, and we go and we address it.
Man, that's amazing to hear right there. You're not just talking it, you're actually walking in it, and that's huge right there. So, man, I love that right there, for real, man. That's grown man stuff right there. So I want to know, you said that you made a change artistry-wise once you had kids. So being the artist you are today, about to drop a new project, who is King Prez? What are we expecting out this new project?
You just expecting somebody that wants to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? That we didn't got past the raising the kids. We didn't got past the hard. We understand what life is about. And now we just want to have a party. We just want to have a good time just for a little bit, because we got to go back to work. We got to go back to saving the world. Whatever it is, we got to go back to doing. But just for this 3 minutes, whether you in your car or you on the dance floor, you're going to listen to King Prez. You're going to feel good about yourself. And it's feel good music. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's, what they say, soul food. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is like a little West Coast soul food.
All the way.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is, man. I want you to go ahead and drop your social media information so everybody can follow along.
Okay, it's at James King Prez, just at James King Prez. That's all. And then you can also, on Spotify, Emperor OG.
Okay.
So you can catch the soundtrack for the movie that's coming up. We're doing 3 movies, Mansion Party.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So
when's that coming?
That's going to come out next year, 2024.
Okay.
So we're going to make sure we get everything done, because we're going to do one movie, drop another movie, drop another movie. So back to back to back to back. We already got the film crew. Now we're getting the actors together. It's a comedy, so I already got the comedians. Yo. Yeah,
but there's a lot of moving parts in that too.
It's a dream come true, man. I started out in Houston, and me and the cast in Houston, we were supposed to get together and put this movie together, and it didn't fall through because everybody. Houston is spoiled, man. They got so much going on, so much good stuff.
Houston's a major city.
It's a major city, but it's so much talent. Like, everybody that I met can read music. Everybody that I met is in the band. So you got this whole different movement of music, and then you got people that's already made it that you could just touch them.
Right.
Like, you can go to an event in Houston and you could be right next to one of the dopest artists, and they cool, like Bun B. They right there. You could talk
Bun's
to
one
them.
of my idols, man.
Yeah, and they idols, but they cool. They not like, they still cool, but everybody's spoiled. So that's why everybody not trying to get it like that in Houston, because they got access to all these.
Because it's within reach.
Exactly.
Right.
So when you have somebody like me that's West Coast hungry, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming up here trying to get it all. It's like, they like, nah, we not moving like that. This is where we moving at right now. So it never materialized. So when I went to Austin, I met with a couple people. Shout out to Strange One. I met him out in Austin. I was like, yo, I got this project I want to do. He was like, oh yeah, okay. So I was like, Mansion Party. So now we're doing it in Austin because it's a captured audience in Austin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, let me know when you do that in Austin. I got one of my peoples out there, man. I know he'll love to fall through. He's actually an R&B artist and hip-hop artist, too. So y'all can probably collab on something, or at least something. Something will come about that for sure.
Yeah, well, I definitely want to do the Mansion Party. That's a shout-out to the 941. You know what I'm saying? We were doing Mansion Parties for like 2 years. Shout out to them, that DJ.
And they can hear us out there, too, man. Shout out to the whole 941. Y'all are in our listening area, man. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man. So we just... trying to really get 941 not so much on the map, but organized, where we could really start helping each other. I told one of my, I say little, but he's not little, Lonnie B. He's one of the artists that's out there. And I said, Lonnie, I said, we got like a 5-year window, bro. Like, when people start hearing about us, we start catching fire. we got 5 years to show and prove and get this money, so we on the clock right now. You know what I'm saying?
All the way.
Yeah, so,
All the way.
me, Shizzle, shout out to Khadijah. She makes everything make sense. You met Khadijah.
Yeah.
So she comes in with all the paperwork and the logistics as far as getting our financials straight to go in the right direction.
That's what you need.
And that was the missing link that's going to make everything pop off. Because she has the finances. And once you get them finances lined up and you get your BMI, your ASCAP lined up, now all it is marketing and promotion.
Exactly.
And now that I understand the game of marketing and promotion, it's like, it's going to be a whole nother level. So, and I told my people, I said, when I come back from Houston, man, I'm going to be different. And I knew it because Shizzle was like, you got to get out your city, bro.
For some reason, it seems like that might be the only way that people really, really respect you is once you bounce and come back. You know, they see that you can do it elsewhere, and then all of a sudden their eyes are wide open from there, man. But I really want to appreciate, say thank you for coming through here, dropping knowledge on us. I'm about to spin a couple of tracks, man. I know Be Where You Are. I like that track right there. And let me say, before I even hit play on this one, man, thank you for sending it to me mastered, because you sent it to me before and it wasn't mastered.
Okay.
So now that I heard it, it sounds much better, and we're ready to go on that one.
Okay. Yeah, I had to go. When I went to Houston, man, shout out to P-Rod for getting me straight. You know what I'm saying? So P-Rod, the homie, he got me straight. And so that's why I went to Houston to get this album straight. So now it's straight, it's ready.
Now it's glass.
Now we gotta go through all the process of the marketing and promotion to make sure it's right.
Right. Well, that's what it is, man. I can't wait to talk with you again in about 4 or 5 months after we hear, feedback from the album drop and all the promotion and marketing that you've done, and the brand being built as well. Like I'm ready to see the not really the aftermath. I'm ready to see what happens, the repercussions of it. The impact that you're gonna make.
Because we got the clothing line coming out, the Galactic.
Yeah, you got a lot going on right now.
Hey,
man.
You got to, man. If you're an independent artist, man, you cannot hope that somebody's gonna fill in the blanks.
Nah, you gotta go get it.
You have to be aggressive. You have to be hungry, but you have to be humble. Most of all, you have to be humble. You have to allow for people to come in and criticize and critique. And you have to be able to have the tough skin when people come in and tell you whack. Because I've been told 100 times that I'm whack. But you know what? It's billions of people on this planet. All I need is a couple million people to like me. I don't need everybody to like me.
Right.
I just need a couple million.
Right.
But most importantly...
And the ones that do will rock with you forever.
Forever. But most importantly, I want people to love each other at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that my music provides love. I want to make sure when people see me, they see love. I want to make sure they receive love at the end of the day. And I think when you work with that type of energy, you see that like Preem, like Next that's recording right now, like yourself, Shizzle, Khadijah, all these people that have love and start coming around. But you got to be humble. If you're not humble, you'll miss it. Right.
Well, here we go, man. Let's get back into the music. Once again, King Prez, I appreciate you coming through here, man.
Appreciate you.
I got a couple tracks to spin here. It's almost the top of the hour on top of that, so we got to play some promos. And after that, I'm cutting up all from 11 until 12 until the Saturday night shutdown comes through here. Waves of the Bay, live in effect. King Prez in the building with me. Man, this is what it is. This is what it's about right here. Tampa Bay. Let's go.
All right.
It's Tone Capone. You already know what time it is. Let's go. Welcome to Waves of the Bay. Yeah, I said it's Waves of the Bay. If you ain't about the action, better find another lane. If you ain't providing platforms, better find another stage. I'm living in my purpose, every day is game day. And now it's time to level up. Give the people what they want, show the artist off and strut. Let the music do the talking while the talent gets the fun. They said it's all written, but I had to change the font. Come on, because I do what I want. Champions win, so I'm not about to taunt. After all the smoke clears, I'll be standing right here at the top with my peers, living life without fears. I'm full speed ahead, never looking in the mirror, never looking in the rear, cause I'm known to switch gears. Hey, mom,